We're recording what happened last session. Don't all
When I said
talk
I
at the
was
same
ready,
time.
I haven't opened my notes yet. I was still opening them,
Sorry.
and I'm like,
Open the
oh, don't worry,
fucking
someone
notes,
else will take this.
asshole. Open the fucking notes, asshole. Come on,
Right.
Hurry up!
I was giving someone else a second.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead, Mark. Yeah, go have fun.
So we arrived at Marothius after saying goodbye to the sisters. I don't remember if we did that the session before or the start of the session, but we said goodbye to the sisters. Very heartfelt, very nice. Yes. We showed up and there was a line almost like for customs. In fact, it was customs. A lot of complaining for the most part, but luckily we had our story straight of a couple of traveling merchants. Then we had
their help. Some hired, some never paid.
Yes. We went with Erland, Ilaria, and Brandy being merchants, and then Indra and Shep are bodyguards, and then the two elves are servants. They did say that if we got some traveling merchant licenses, it would make customs in future towns a lot easier. So that was one of the very first things we did, was head over to, I think it was like town hall essentially.
Bureaucracy.
And waited in line for a bit and got our licenses. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, so we saw a bit of what the town's like. You see, it seemed to be a small city, more or less transformed into a kind of military fort. Lots of guards around, as well as one that was pointed out to us, even as early as some rumors circulating around in the town hall, as being a bit unnaturally large and mysterious, similar to our own quote-unquote hired help, Tony Athlock. And so, Shepard, the third name. And so we'd seen a little bit about the town. Some of us went about kind of exploring a little bit. Hassan in particular, kind of like trying to get the general lowdown on how slaves act to both improve his own acting, to make sure he's a believable, able to kind of for once in his life take less of the spotlight, right? And also figuring out some hot local goss, and that was pretty neat. Trying to figure out what's going on, generally speaking, what the commoners would know, so we can more or less blend in as commoners. And it's pretty neat. We heard about mysterious murders happening, but outside of that little bit of intelligence gathering, Erland in particular, out as his merchant disguise variant. It's not really a disguise; it's just a different name and a backstory. But he went about actually finding someone that is more on the underhanded side, more black market-esque in the old merchant's little square here. So spoke with someone, got a little bit of thieves' cant going on, and then I managed to get a bit of information at a hefty sum regarding both the trade of people, bodies, dwarves, possibly third option being those funky Cunari, right? Learned a little bit about that, as well as a little bit about a trail that leads us towards the old capital, Neraminian, where we may be able to get in touch with one fella, counselor of magical malpractice, who would be able to further inform us about the trails of certain peoples of interest. Outside of that, what else did we figure out?
Sort of during Erland's discussion, Shepard's just kind of standing around, and this really tall guy walks by and just kind of stares at Shepard. Shepard immediately knowing and recognizing that's one of his people. They have a discussion, And Shep basically also finds out that the people who have been captured are also in Arminian. And also was giving. Was that a letter? Or do you guys remember? DM's question. Sorry.
Yeah. It was it was a letter sealed that the Kunari asked you to deliver once they found out that you're part of the situation.
Yes. I did not write down who I was delivering the letter to.
The Kunari staying
Okay.
at the dockyard.
Got it. Sorry.
You're good.
And yeah, so basically Shep finds out that New Arminian is the place he needs to go. But Shep also finds out a little detail that's more pertinent to Erland, that golems are in New Arminian as well, which they shouldn't be. Yeah, I believe the Canary are being held in like a ship graveyard kind of area. At least that's the information Hisred gave to Shepard, Bathlock, Tony, whatever name you want to call me.
It would be weird if we randomly started calling Shepard Tony.
Yeah, it would be weird. Yeah,
Like, yeah, you look like a Tony.
That's where my notes end, so I don't know if anyone else has anything.
We learned a bit about how we would get to Neraminian, right? It's a little bit of extra info that we had generously paid for. But we learned about there being two routes mainly. There's the main road, mainly a lot of caravans going through there, a lot more oversight, inspections, and a bit crowded with the amount of people moving to and fro. But there's also the option of the less traveled road that would lead you through the forest itself, which is a bit dangerous. People have been reported missing, and the caravans are being attacked by both people and mysterious creatures of the forest. And in either case, it'd take us about 2 or 3 days. It's mainly the idea of if we're going to go there's the safe route, and then there's the more risky route. More or less, we had decided on the safer route, but with a little bit of delays being given so that Erlen has a chance to forage for more potion ingredients. And so with that, like we got together, we grabbed a new caravan, a nice little fancy to help sell our whole merchant clan idea here, and we head off to try to chase down these leads. We also learned that Tevinter's apparently losing ground in the war, which is an interesting bit of information. We even saw some Orlesian prisoners of war just in the town square. In particular, Indra and Elaria had a little run-in with them. Elaria got to kind of speak a little bit and offer some support, some little bits of water to one of the unfortunate Zops.
I think Hassan also visited almost like a town crier or something, or got newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
The general news, and one of the big one I wrote down is there's some very gruesome, strange murders to the cities up north.
Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much everything that you guys gathered, and we left off with you getting on the road to Neraminian. I believe, Erland, you wanted to kind of make a detour towards some of the forest to gather some ingredients or something for potion making.
Yeah, you were letting me know that I had Tevinter plant materials gathered from time spent, little checks made to at least get some materials. Because the idea was it would help me with some of these particular potions, like how I previously at a potion shop bought a potion of it essentially lets you cast alter self on yourself just through potion magic.
Yeah.
So that'd be one of the ways to make it, actually finding these material specific plants in Tevinter. And presumably I can make it with with what I find,
Mhm.
what I've already found. So that's pretty neat. Another thing Erlin in particular wanted to do while they're just like on their couple days trek through the main path is it's time for a little bit more effort to be put into the disguise part of the alternate identity. So in a similar sense as to how Ilaria has how I've been able to fashion this cover up concoction that'll help her like change her hair color, help her hide a little bit more from her family. I'd like to make that cover up concoction for myself and turn into, I guess, currently he's like, I guess it's like ginger Erlin. This is more like brunette Erlin. This is like black hair.
Okay.
So that's the idea. So he's gonna try to make that kind of potion in particular, and essentially just it'll cover his hair and his beard to be a color black. And he's gonna. It sucks that we don't have Ilaria with us at the moment because, in particular, he'd like to ask for people's help in actually like covering up the castless mark, like foundation wise, like little bits of makeup and things.
I'm sure Sun could help a little bit.
Shepard will try to help.
Because at least to check in with,
Indra is driving the cart.
yeah, he's just driving.
What role would it be if I were to try to help him?
Dexterity check.
Do you have any like disguise kits or anything on you?
I mean, I guess that depends on.
Efficiencies?
I don't have any disguise kits, but I guess it depends on the DMs how well my painting abilities applies to makeup.
Well, that's why I'm saying dexterity check.
Okay. Because it's a check and not a save, I'm just gonna do acrobatics because I have the inbuilt +1. So, ooh,
Want to use your once per session reroll?
on
Right
this,
On me.
maybe not.
So what is Erlin trying to do exactly?
Right now, here's a short description of what a cover concoction normally does. And we have ruled earlier that considering that it can actually alter hair color, you know, there is a method with which to actually like make it, you know, more or less like a hair dye. You do kind of still need to like reapply it after a while, but like it more or less lasts you a bit. And using that cover up concoction, hair dye, black hair Erland, as well as mainly just needing some help to cover up the actual, you know, the actual mark.
Yeah,
And then-
Erland is just trying to
Erland looks
cover up a
different.
tattoo on his face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And making
What are
that
we
minor
trying to cover
potion
it up
is
with?
just any kind of foundation. Make it like look like my face is not branded.
Who would have makeup? Ilaria.
Yeah, and Ilaria would have
Shepherd-
like a disguise kit or something on her.
What?
Shepard. Like, I know Ilaria's not, but Shepard would love to go to Ilaria and be like, can I borrow your makeup?
I don't. Sure. Make another dexterity check.
And
I hope it goes bad.
y'all are fucking me up.
Yo!
18.
Okay.
You're used to painting your face, Shepard.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. As San and Ceridwen only got their tattoos done once, you paint your face like pretty much every single day. So you're kind of like used to working with like the facial structure. And you like lay down some like good foundation like powder and paint. Like if inspected closely, you could still tell that like it's there. But from like farther away or like normal conversation, it's like pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Maybe just kind of look like a little like smudge or a mark or something. You also like start to go in with like a little winged eyeliner, and Erland just stops you.
But Erland, trust me, it matches your contour lines.
I think I look different enough, thank you.
Okay.
And for posterity's sake too, making the minor potions under normal circumstances, about 10 gold, I mark those off. But I should have a DC 7 check to make them. So one sec. With my alchemical supplies. Yeah, that does it.
Mhm.
and I've made some cover-up concoction. So I'll use that for my hair, and then it will, after a little bit of time, presumably, it's just gonna, hair dye.
Yeah. Oh, and give me a survival check. You could have advantage because maybe Brandy will help you. Just to look around for some of the like remaining ingredients for some of your potions.
Yes. Survival. Let's go!
Yeah, you're good.
Potion making.
Potion making.
Making the potions.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he has several bits of cover-up concoction. So if anyone in particular is looking to try out being a brunette, one can certainly attempt. But this is Erland further cementing this alternate identity.
You said you have extras.
Yeah, it gives us six treatments,
All right.
and these last you for the better part of a month.
As much as Asan hates the
It'll
idea,
wash out eventually, but yeah.
I'm remembering. Yes, people did escape from the Tvinter study site at the temple. So I'm like, on the off chance I run into one of the survivors. Asan will take the cover-up concoction.
All right. We are both in our evil era.
What hair color?
Let's go with a dark brown.
Okay.
Here we are.
As you go along the main road to Narrominion, you notice it's a lot more populated than a lot of the other roads that you've been on. You've mostly traveled through the wilderness, but this is a well-established trading route, and not an hour goes by that you don't see other merchants either kind of like going around you because they have a smaller group or faster horses, or kind of like going past you. Some seem friendly, just kind of like give you like nods of acknowledgement. Others eyes straight ahead, don't even really look at you. And kind of like minutes turn to hours. It's a long process to get there, but you know that with luck and with frequent breaks for your horses, for yourselves, you'll get there maybe within 2 days' time, arriving in like late evening. As you continue along the road, all of you notice off to the side a cart that's been kind of like pulled off onto the kind of like grassy wasteland. Very few trees around where you're currently at. It's a very mountainous, kind of like dark and dry landscape. A cart has been pulled over to the dry grass, and you notice the wheel has been like damaged, and the few people are just kind of like looking around, concerned. Mostly seems to be human merchants or traders, and they seem to kind of like almost be unsure of what to do. A few are panicking, others are just kind of like resigned to their fate. Do you push past them, or do you walk over?
Who would notice them first? What, like our driver Indra?
Both of you, like all of you guys, like you're in the cart. There's no like windows.
No
Do we
windows.
have like spare parts for our wagon? Did we buy enough?
Kind of doubtful.
It seems like something that you could fix.
Hassan has no interest in helping people here, but if people want to,
They're
he will
humans.
go for it.
Oh well, no, that actually doesn't help.
Wait, no. Can I spot any servants there?
Okay, I will tell you right now. Normal, like,
crust.
merchants
No,
or traders do not own slaves. it is very much like a thing that people with money have. This group of people looks about as wealthy as like you guys are, probably to a lesser extent. They're just normal traders. Slavery doesn't really occur with just like a person who barely has enough money to feed themselves.
Oh, no, I was just asking anyway. I understand that the normal people don't have servants.
Nah,
Yeah.
like that is very much like a wealthy and upper crust like situation.
Yeah. And
Also,
that is
I
more or
always
less
laugh 'cause you
how
said,
we
they look
are.
about as wealthy as you do, and I glance over
Pretty
and it's
rich.
1,000 gold. And I'm like, huh.
Doing well.
As well, well
Yeah.
are you guys like flaunting your gold?
No,
and
no,
wealth?
no.
Yeah, they
No,
look
no,
like
I
we
was
have
normal
a fancy
traders.
cart. We have a
So-
fancy-ish looking cart and a couple slaves, so we're kind of playing into the thought that like, yeah, we're merchants, but we're
You
not like
look-
your average
You
merchants.
look better than them. Like,
Yeah, we're
in
doing
fact.
better than
Yeah.
normal merchants. We can afford people.
Yeah, you can afford people. Yeah, someone who can't afford a house is not gonna buy a slave.
So I don't know if we can maybe just like base off their actions and stuff. Could I try to like make maybe like an insight check to see if they look like they're really in trouble, or if this might be like a let's get someone to pull over for us and then rob them.
What a good question.
Kinda
Please make
deal.
an insight check.
Okay. Let's see, where is
You can have
this?
advantage, because the rest of the group seems to be eyeing them up too.
Oh, cool.
17?
Well,
Okay, 7.
The first
17.
one is way better.
17. These people seem to actually, like, just have an issue on their hands. There doesn't seem to be anything. And it's, like, you're good at reading people. They don't seem to have, like, the movements of some that, like, they're not paying attention to you. They're focused on the cart, and you know that, like, they're actually, like, in trouble. And then there's not like really anywhere also to hide around this area.
I say we just make a quick pit stop here and try to see if we can do anything for him.
We're doing what?
There's people who are broken down on the side. You see them?
Indra stops
Listen.
the cart.
We have enough people with us that some of us can go look at the cart and other people can stay with the cart in case any shenanigans are afoot.
I'll stay with the cart.
See, I tried this a bit at the elf camp. I still ain't exactly a Wayne rat here. Best I can do is patch things up with really sticky mimic mucus.
Well, if we could help them in any way, I'm sure they'd be appreciative. Even if we could just get them to get their cart to the next town.
See, Erlen, like, very...
Very what?
Josh?
Oh, I thought it was me,
Oh
honestly.
no, the fuck, they got him, dude. It
The
turned out to be
fucking-
a trap after all. Fuck.
The Devinters got him.
Fucking
to help with. I don't know if we already fixed the situation, but he's
we
going
have
to
not.
attempt to help.
We
We,
stopped
it's-
as soon as you left.
You like trailed, you like disappeared mid-sentence.
Yeah.
So we stopped immediately.
Yeah.
It was very obvious that you were gone.
Yeah, so we just kind of
Yeah.
yapped it.
Everything was shut down for a bit, but yeah,
All good.
let's go help some people.
Yeah. Okay. So Erland, Shepard, does Asan walk over?
Yeah, I will walk over, but I'm gonna do my typical, like, looking at the ground, like, just following along, obediently.
Of course.
Okay.
Also, wait, if you're this, does that mean Siren is one of ours?
Oh yeah, Siren will land on your shoulder.
Amazing. I was hoping. I have a bird.
Salt
Now I
liquor!
really look like.
No, Seawolf is gone. It's just a bird now.
No,
It's
unfortunately,
just
I
a
learned that.
It's like a parrot, you know. It's picked up on some phrases.
It learned on its own.
It's learned behavior, guys.
Uh,
What can you do?
Yeah.
Hassan,
Now
more like a
Erlen looks
shit.
even more.
I
He's like
refuse to accept this.
he's like eccentric merchant with a bird on his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, you notice 3 people, 2 women, 1 man. All have kind of like dark hair, either like pulled into braids or buns out of their face. Kind of like common merchants' clothing, seem to be selling like textiles. As you walk over, one of the women just kind of like sighs in relief. Oh, hello. Are you able to assist us? Our wheel just broke. We just need like maybe like a few wooden scraps. We were just on our way to Morothius. It shouldn't be too far. Like anything you could offer. Just we really need to get there before dark.
Yeah, we'll try our best to give you some assistance. Do we have wooden? We probably have wooden scraps, right? Like
Yeah.
I would say if not, are there trees and Shepard would just go chop them. So like either
Either works, really.
You start like a production line for those specific wheels. You're like, just give me a second. yeah. You guys have like scraps. I'd say, what would this be like in? Are any of you proficient with like artisan's tools?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Any of you have the mending cantrip?
Believe it or not, no.
Okay.
No.
All right, that's fine. Then just roll a dexterity or strength check. What's up?
What I do have is several vials of mimic mucus. That's as close to mending as I've got.
Sure.
I have super glue.
If you want to use the mimic mucus, and just kind of like apply like little doppels
Little
of
drops.
it. Yeah. Shepard, give me just a strength check, and you can have an advantage because Erlyn is helping you.
Oh, man.
Okay. 14. It's a wheel. You're fine. It takes a little bit longer than you would have liked. You're just kind of like sitting there working as like the humans are just kind of like staring at you like a little bit curiously.
Erlen's like trying to sell it a little bit. Like, let me tell you, this little concoction works wonders. A couple drops and you'll see things
We
sealed
don't
up
want to
tighter
buy
than
anything from you, sir. No, thank you.
Oh. Right, yeah. No, I'm not trying to sell. Just making sure y'all are aware that this is some quality.
Could we offer you? We have some rations available. We're heading over to Morothius, so we don't really need these anymore. As thanks.
Oh, well, that'd be mighty kind, of course. Anything you are willing to part with.
Yeah, of course. It's no issue. You, very few people have stopped, and you're the only ones that have had anything to help out with.
Of course. Is this kind of, say, neighborly gestures? Is this more rare around these parts?
Around the highway, yes. It's people would rather not. I'm sure you had the thought that we were laying a trap of some sort. That is a good instinct to have, actually. Even along the main road, thieves, and you see her just kind of like rub her neck a little bit and just kind of like look away as if like there's something she wants to say but is unsure if she's like safe to say it.
I want to try to read that expression and see if this is more so a thing of like, are they fearful to speak it aloud, or are they not trusting of us?
Make an insight check. And Shepard, you
Shall we?
finish their wheel while they're having this conversation.
Insight.
It's, you know what? It'll get them to the next city, and that is like all you can really do. Like it's not gonna fall apart. It will be bumpy, but you know it's passable. 20 insight.
With Shepard or what? Yeah.
Oh, for Shepard and the wheel. 20 insight. Honestly, a little bit of both. She doesn't know you. She doesn't know who you are, and she is kind of like glancing over at the fact that you do employ slaves. and she kind of has this. You would know, Erland, of a working class person that is unsure if they can speak unkindly about people that hold power over them. And she is wondering which side do you fall on.
Gotcha. All right. Erland is going to try to play up the more foreigner angle, right? Where he's just a clueless guy in some uncharted territories, right? And so going to try to kind of ingratiate himself that way, being like, "Oh, right. I'm not sure if these are like maybe trade secrets or things maybe my kind shouldn't exactly hear, but I just any sort of tips you might give to a lowly fella in need here, I mean, be much appreciated. We're see a bit of travelers, a bit of hired help, need other people to really pick up on the things to do."
She lowers her voice a little bit. Well, no trade route bandits did this to us. Out past the bridge, there is a slight forest, a collection of trees more so, but it does provide shade, and some beasts like to prowl around there, so people tend to try to not camp out there and try to go past it as quickly as possible. And so Tevinter has employed several parties of guards around the area to protect the merchants that go past the bridge and along this highway. Some of them are not as pleasant as others. When we refuse to part with any of our goods, they broke our wheel, and she looks over at the man, and he just kind of like shifts his hair a little bit, and you see like a sizable bruise along his face that he's just been like covering.
Oh my, no, that's no good at all. Here, you there. He's gonna kind of gesture to Asan to kind of like lean down to him to get a little whisper.
I'll lean over.
Could you pick up Brandy's the healer's kit real quick? Let him know the situation. It seems like people are being extorted out here.
And I will bow my head and go like, "Of course, sir," and walk back over to the wagon, and let Brandy know that we might need some help with the healer's kit. And seems like some of the hired help, but yeah, some of the hired help from the government is harassing people on the road, and I'll let the rest of the group know that as well.
So they were trying to steal from you, extort you?
Essentially, any gold, sovereigns, materials that we have as a tip for their protection. And like you see the man like speaks up and just goes, "They're bullies. They ride around in their great chariots. They patrol," and he gives like air quotes, "the roads. There's nothing that ever happens here. Maybe a bandit or two, but..." And I will be honest, whenever we've come across bandits, they've mostly left us alone because we have fuck all to give.
Exactly. No, I absolutely understand that. And a part of Erland internally is sitting here like knowing full well he's been in that position of extorting people. So he's kind of trying to play it off as if like he's never heard of this, or it's not even that he's never heard of it, but that like he's like, "Oh no, this is terrible," right? So he's like internally like there's a bit of that guilt there where it's like, "Oh, yep, I know I've done this to people. This is bad." So he's like trying to play up his sympathies, where it's like, oh no, that's, and of course when it comes to those two, you start to think, who are the real thieves? Huh? I hear about that happening where I come from. It's surprising how Places change, but people really don't.
Yes, it is, I suppose, surprising. I mean, you say you're a foreigner, yet you have slaves with you. Is that common in the rest of the countries as well?
We've had a good bit of fortune, though, at least in further areas than this. We're kind of dipping our toes into new territory. And with that fortune, we've gotten some pleasant deals with folks around here and hired help, and extra hands never hurts, especially the big guy. I wouldn't know the first thing about keeping ourselves safe from these same sort of issues that are affecting you. But the big guy, it's extra insurance in that case. It's a
Oh, you are one of
worthwhile
the
business expense.
you're one of the warriors? She looks over at you, Shepard, like confused because you just very gently like fixed their wheel.
I don't think I'm the warriors you're thinking of.
I see. Well, thank you so much for your help. Be careful up there.
Of course, yeah. Is there anything we should know, at least to keep an eye out when it comes to local law enforcement?
It really depends. Some can be just and well-meaning. Others ignore a lot of the issues, and some use their influence to hurt others.
Is there anyone in charge of them in particular?
In charge? Where are you heading, to Neraminian?
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of funny running into you here. We're headed the same way.
Oh, well, we're actually heading to Marothius.
Oh,
Yes.
I misheard that. Josh misheard that.
Oh, good, okay.
We're headed the other way, actually. Luckily, we ran into you here before we,
Yes,
lost
well,
sight.
we've done trade in between the two cities. We've even traveled out west a little bit, but around here there's, well, less of a war situation going on, even though Marothius has now become a fort. In charge of the police? Well, there is a guard barracks connected to the Imperial Chantry in Neraminian. You could perhaps have some luck there.
I don't exactly have the pull with which to really campaign for an improvement in the, say, guard.
The
What's the
Dwarven Embassy
word?
has a fair sway in a lot of the Neraminian dealings.
That, exactly. I am on my way to actually take a look at that as well. I, as one person, may not have as much pull to campaign for better, say, guard ethics, but perhaps there I can bring up cases like these as an example where if people can't even feel safe with the people that are hired to protect them, well, how's that going to bode for more merchants coming to and fro? You won't want to make business that way if you think you're going to get robbed partway through.
Well, I wish you luck with that endeavor. We try to stay out of the politics. We really just want to make enough money to get by.
Absolutely. Of course, best of luck to you in that.
You as well.
It's very crowded, but very crowded over in Marothius, but there is a bustling merchant environment.
We're aware. What can you do? Anyway, we should be getting on the road. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, and there's gonna be at least a bit of like patching up of the one guy. At least like give him a little balm, a little like, okay, this should help the swelling.
Does Asan
Clock the clean one.
Wait, like does Asan does Asan administer the first aid, or does he bring it to you, Erland?
Brings it. I'll have him. Yeah.
I thought I was either bringing Brandy and Brandy's healing kit, or just bringing the healing kit for someone else to use.
Yeah.
Because medicine's not the strong suit on Asan.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm just curious who's like interacting with the man.
I'll say myself.
Okay. Yeah. He seems
Little bit of
appreciative of the of the first aid. Asan, you notice the woman that was speaking to Erlen just kind of like look at you and offer like a small smile.
Asan is going to do his best sheepish smile
She
and
looks
just like nod.
she looks very uncomfortable.
With my smile, or just the fact that I am
You exist.
With
Or just
with
my
the
existence.
fact that this very nice merchant owns people.
I guess I will just shuffle over to her and just like whisper, "It's not really like that, but we have to keep up appearances in this country."
Oh, yes, of course.
So we will let them on their way with the knowledge that this is a solution for now, but it will get them to the next town. They afterwards maybe
Yeah.
seeing if they can find a replacement wheel.
They give you 3 days worth of rations, some
Beautiful.
dried bread, cheese, and a lot of like dried fruits tied up in like little bundles. Very little meat. It seems like they like passed by some like traveling merchants with fruits. It's like if you like smell it or try it, there's like figs and nuts as well, and like a little jar of honey. They wave goodbye. You head back on the road, traveling further and further.
Erlen sits back down and he's like, I don't know how you can stand being so positive all the time, Brandy. I feel drained.
I think Asan will like pull out a flask and be like, eh?
Brady just smiles at Erland, like not even like a sarcastic one, just like a big goofy one.
Yeah, just be everyone's friend, right? End up picking up all their problems. It's good to know that
you did a very good job.
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm gonna change everything. It's just good to know that, not even the guards can fully be trusted, and they might stab you in the back. And whoever's in charge of them either is too oblivious to know that it's happening, or is incentivizing it.
Indra just kind of like chuckles ahead of you and just like looks back and goes, "You spent 3 years in Starkhaven and you still don't know that guards can be corrupt?"
It's not even that, and I mean you're an example of, but it's just the thought that specifically around here, the people are being treated even worse than I thought.
Yeah, it's bad everywhere.
Figured Taviner was a lot more insular, right? Hated the outsiders, at least not the ones that they approved of, right? Like, say, my folks.
I was a little, I was also just a little... It struck me as odd that she thought it was odd that you had, servants, as they call them here.
They're not like a monolith. People have their own opinions.
Yeah,
I think we'll impress the type of people we're trying to impress, and then maybe other folks, they, on a case-by-case basis, might trust us more or less. She, in particular, seemed a bit on edge. Like, maybe I was a bit too highbrow.
I think
depending on the person, I'm either a servant or a business partner in disguise.
I think we gotta be careful with how closely we ally ourselves to some people. We might not be able to talk to others as easily as we did in Ravane.
Yeah. Can't exactly play both sides, right? Where we're no better than the commoners, but then we're also kind of playing it up as if we're just as good as the bigwigs.
I think that was fine, though. It was an isolated incident, and they're going in the other direction.
Yeah. Gives us an idea what we're getting into. Just what matters is that we matter enough to get a hold of the one guy.
I
Guys,
think when we're in the city, we're gonna have to really settle, as much as it pains me, settle on the whole servant thing.
guys, up ahead.
Hmm?
You see, as Indra points it out, there seems to be a black stone bridge crossing over what seems to be a dried up riverbed. So the bridge isn't really even necessary, but it's still important for like the wagons to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And up past it, a little collection of dark trees with leaves that kind of like intersect a little bit. It's not a forest. It's like the trees are sparse, but there are bushes and there's greenery. And as Indra kind of like guides the cart over the bridge, you notice a black carriage of 4 horses and several people sitting in wagons, all in the same black armor with inlaid with golden embroidery and masks that cover the top half of their faces. They reek of alcohol. And as you begin to get closer and closer to them, the carriage kind of like motions for you to stop. And then Indra kind of like looks back at you guys and goes, "What are we doing?"
Well, they
I
gave us
think
the heads
we-
up.
Yeah, I think we, well, specifically, and I will point at Indra and Shepard, maybe put on your big scary faces. Maybe they'll just wave us through and realize we're probably more trouble than we're worth.
You don't have a way to hide yourself, do you, son? If we say don't have slaves, maybe they figure we don't have as much to give.
I mean,
Short of hiding under a blanket, I don't know what you could do.
yeah, nope, that was exactly what I was gonna say.
Don't you disappear half the time? Like literally into thin air?
Yes, but I don't really control that. That's more of flickering back and forth between an ethereal space and this one.
I don't know if an elf
Can-
casting a spell is a really good idea right now.
Yeah, I think I just make myself meek. And you two make yourselves look scary.
Okay, give me a stealth check and Shepard roll an intimidation check with advantage. Are you guys stopping for them?
We should.
We should.
Cause
hoping
less
they take-
problems.
I'm hoping they take one look at Indra and Shepard, and they're like, yeah, maybe we just let these ones pass.
And they, at least it's the reeking of alcohol. We can maybe use this to our advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, Shepard is just going to put on his meanest, nastiest face. He's going to think about past woes and just like look
Beep.
as angry as he can without like raging. So what am I rolling?
Intimidation with advantage.
Oh, that means twice. The second one.
21. Alright. As you get closer and closer, and kind of like Indra stops the cart and looks over, 3 people get out, all carrying swords. One seems to kind of be a spellcaster. Another has a large claymore at his side. Route inspection! Please step out of the cart. We need to make sure you're not carrying anything untoward into the city.
I can assure you we're not.
He sizes you up and just kind of like puffs up his chest a little bit, like juts his chin out. I'm sorry, rules are rules. There's no exceptions. We just need to really quickly look through what you're carrying and you will be on your way. Unless, of course, you have something illegal. But I'm sure we could overlook that.
Erland has a decent setup as is, where all that's kept in his bag is a bunch of random fucking like alchemy nonsense, right? And materials. So, and like things like his weapon are like at least hidden in the bag of holding. So he will gladly, step out. Now let's not give them too much trouble. This is just their job, of course. He's gonna try to suss out, are all of them in some degree like inebriated?
Uh,
Or did they send out the sober ones? Did they send
uh,
out the
Best
designated
foot forward, man.
the designated extorters?
some degree of like tipsy. They're not like wasted drunk, but the man talking to you seems to be like the one with the most kind of like clear head, but is very also like he has been drinking.
Hmm. So they want to ruffle through like our packs and things because there wouldn't really be much in the caravan itself.
Yeah. They're like essentially asking to kind of like just look through all of your belongings, and then one of them notices Asan.
You don't have belongings. We have Asan's belongings are our belongings.
Asan is a belonging.
Yeah, they aren't allowed normal belongings. What do they notice with Asan in particular?
We just need to pat down. You see, some merchants, some traders, carry around elven mages. We can't let that into the city. Those must be registered under a very specific title.
I can assure you, these aren't mages.
Now it wouldn't even tell if an elf is a mage. They don't sell those, do they? Would they by accident?
You see as like Shepherd kind of like he gets a little bit closer to them, the guy like backs off a little. Listen, we just want to make sure you're not carrying anything. A simple pat down should not be an issue. Unless you have something to hide, of course. And I think like Shepard and Erland, you guys notice like Indra like freeze a little bit, and looked a little panicked.
We don't have anything to hide. We're trying to make a good time, and you are stopping us from doing so.
Question, DMs.
Yes.
Is it possible to quietly use this message earring?
I would ask for a sleight of hand check.
So, yeah, we'll be sleight of hand, like, and see, because I'd like to, in particular, kind of communicate something to Indra, where it's like, is there some? Should we be worried?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
That's
Ugh.
horrendous. What if we once per session reroll for that? Why
I'm gonna
the
say I'm like,
fuck not?
Maybe, yeah, this one might be a good one.
Why the fuck not? It's better.
Ugh.
12. All right. Do you want to roll
Don't
perception?
do that.
Or
That's better.
should I? Ricky.
I'll roll perception.
Okay.
Yeah, asking.
That's the
What's got
wrong
you so
person.
worried? What's got you worried?
Okay. As you kind of just like cough into your sleeve a little bit and at the same time like speak into the earring, you say the words, "Is there something? Should we be worried?" And the bigger man steps forward and kind of like lays his hand on your shoulder, Erland, and goes, "You shouldn't be worried about nothing. Unless, of course, you are carrying weapons. You know, a lot of Orlesian minstrels try to sneak in, pretending to be merchants, trying to gain a foot in the war."
Are
And-
dwarves even in Orlais?
Yeah, dwarves are all over the place.
No, Erlen asks that
Oh,
as
okay.
like a dumb foreigner. Seems like far.
Doesn't matter to me. Either all of y'all step up and let us look over at what you're bringing in, or he rubs two fingers together. We can settle this quietly.
So just to confirm, he only said something about elven mages, not just mages in general, right?
It
I don't even know
seems
how they would figure out how. Like they're gonna
Well, the problem
frisk
is I
you
have a
and find
spell
out
book
you're a
on me.
mage. Why do you have that on you?
Because I'm a mage.
Why do you have that on you so I can cast spells that you need, asshole?
Yeah, no, so did they say something about mages in general or just elven ones?
Specifically elven mages. And you're kind of getting the sense that, like, being a mage serves you very well into Winter unless you are an elf, because you are therefore considered incredibly dangerous.
So what I'd like to do is, while I'm stepping off the cart, could I try to, just, like, essentially, like, stumble over my own feet a bit when I hop off the back and bump into Brandy and just, like, shove the
Leave
spell book
you the
into her
spell.
hands?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm assuming a human mage, whatever.
Give me
Elvish mage.
give me a
Bad
sleight of
idea.
hand check as this guy is like in Erlin's space. 18. Okay. You kind of like just shove the spellbook into Brandy's hands a little bit. The
I'm
guys
just gonna "What's this?"
the guy seemed like the big guy preoccupied with Erland. The kind of like leader is a little bit intimidated by Shepard. No one seems to notice you. Brandy, you have a spellbook now.
Erlen's like, well,
Now I'm just an elf.
now you are just an elf. This is perfect. Erlen's kind of like getting what they're putting down, right? Like they want things, right? They want stuff. He puts the little fingers together as if he wants coin. And I'm like, well, considering I'm a man of trade, perhaps we can be a little bit more amicable in the situation if I give you a few, say, free samples. Now, I pick up on a rather rich scent coming from your caravan. Am I right on that? I see us dwarves and liquors, we are rather well intertwined.
You
He
notice
gives him
he kind of like his eyes gleam with interest.
gives him like a smarmy look and eyebrow wiggle. Uh-huh. Now, I imagine plenty of y'all, and for good reason, want to take the time off, take the load off after a hard day's work, especially if you need to go past so many people going past this bridge. Now, what if I told y'all that you could have as much fun as you want without the rough morning after? Now, here's where I've got something for you. How many folks would you say are in your caravan? Just as like a ballpark number. You don't have to tell me anything specific.
4.
All right. You will bring forth 4 vials of stomach stopper. Now, you may try one just now to see how you feel. Hell, I'll try it with you. Just so you know I'm not giving you anything untoward. Now, this will settle close to just about any issues you'll have when it comes to pretty bad nausea.
He kind of like waits for you to take a sip of the stomach stopper.
Yeah, I'll take gulp, little sip, pass it over.
He kind of like laughs, lets go of your shoulder, takes the stomach stopper, just goes, "Sure." Takes a sip of it.
Give it a minute.
Alchemist merchant, huh?
Yeah. Lots of oddities here and there, but I am a person who knows a little bit more about the body, and especially as a avid fan of drinking, I gotta keep in mind my limits. But what if you didn't have to keep in mind those limits?
I would like a group persuasion check from all of you.
Oh, is there a number we have to beat?
We'll see.
How many people are in here?
Can mine count as a deception?
Famously great at
What are you lying about, Erland?
What am I
You know
lying about?
exactly
Uh-huh.
average.
My entire personality, I guess. This is me playing up an act as some lowly merchant. Who knows a thing or two about drinking.
You can roll deception.
This is Erlen putting up an act and hoping it works. Let's say
Let's go.
we stay decepting.
With that, the guy just kind of like rolls his shoulders back. The one like staring you down, Shepard, just kind of like puts his hand up, stands back, and they all seem to kind of like collectively go, not worth it. Partially, sure, stomach stopper persuasion. Another part is the fact that you all
They'd rather
seem...
go back to drinking.
It's more... Yeah, go back to drinking. You all seem so well coordinated that no other, like, normal merchants would be. And so they, like, realizing, like, okay, there's several armored people here. There's potentially one or two mages and a guy that is, like, really good at selling
Very
them
big.
shit.
Oh, right. There's a small guy and there's a bigger guy. The bigger guy is scary. The smaller guy is... He has some funny words.
Yeah. And they just kind of go, you know what? Our bad. Enjoy your evening. And be careful. Some people go missing around these parts. And they all collectively take the stomach stopper, get into the carriage, and drive off.
Alright. I had 7 of those that Ilaria and myself had made. One of those is a little sample for both of us to try. The other 4 they can just keep. I still have 2 left. Or like
Once we get back in and are out of eyesight, sounds like whew.
I thought I would have to kill them all.
We should have killed
Same.
them all.
We don't. We
can
should
turn back
not
around.
make enemies here. Come
I
on,
didn't
y'all.
want to just because, it would look bad.
I mean, we could turn around.
We
Look,
could
I don't like killing people, man. Monsters are fine.
bury
but
their fucking
even
bodies.
them.
Yeah, but they're also extorting everyone who walks over that bridge, and this is like the main thoroughfare between a minor city and a less minor city.
Profiting off
I
of
guess.
people in times of war. Fucking
Look,
scum.
how do any of us think we're gonna get through to Venture proper, right? Naraminian.
No
All right, we can't
survivors?
just leave a trail of bodies and blood in our wake.
Indra has started, like, moving the cart, by the way.
Okay?
Brandy's
Not
really
everything is our fight.
responsible.
I've been trying to get this through to y'all's head, especially the big guy. Not everything is our fight. And not everyone can be saved.
Then what's the point of us having all of this power? We could demolish a militia. 7 of us. And it's not our problem?
Some things are bigger than us. Can't exactly go up against an entire country. As much as some of us might want to. Look set a sun. Gotta
Guilty
take
as
the wins
charged.
where we can. Gotta be a little more clever about this. Alright, and I was never born clever. I ain't had the best ideas, but some of y'all do. Y'all can use those heads for better than just thinking up more ways to cause chaos and put a target on our backs. I didn't like them fellas any more than you did. Alright? I was halfway to selling them a faulty healing potion. Alright? But
Is that all we can do?
For now, yeah. We don't want anything being traced back to us. We want to lay low, learn what we will, help out his people, hunt down the doctor.
Yeah, don't cause chaos unless we're helping you out, right?
I am hoping to get through all of this in a very subtle way. And when the time comes to break heads and kill people, then I'll be loud.
It's late. Let's make camp. As he says that, you notice the sky has gotten significantly darker. There's no street lamps or even torches. And the grounds have grown eerily silent. It seems that most of the trade has been done during the day. The carts rushing past you were rushing for a specific reason. The area between the Tevinter cities is empty and cold. Do you
Not
try to,
safe.
do you all try to find some sort of like landmark or anything to like park next to, or do you just find like a spot next to the road and?
Is
put
there
up
just
tents?
like a divot next to the road? Because like, obviously on multi-day journeys like this, they are kind of like, I'm not gonna say pre-made campsites, but like places where
Other people have
the
used.
grass is worn down, people have used it.
Make a survival check. Survival. Yeah. There's seems to be a now empty, and you almost don't notice it. But like using Siren and then like your own like elven vision, you notice like a little divot, as well as some trees and kind of like some rocky outcroppings, kind of like shields from the winds. It's completely empty, but you are able to kind of like lead the cart over, and like as Siren kind of like circles around, seeing through him, you also notice a small pond a little bit of way to perhaps refill on water supplies.
All right, yeah, I'll point that all out to the group and like motion for Indra to pull off.
Indra takes curiosity away. I believe only Thanaris is left.
Yeah, we just have that.
Wait, did we do anything to Curiosity?
What's up?
Did we do anything to Curiosity in particular?
He just looks like a fucked up black horse.
Alright.
The
I
most
mean,
we'll
yeah.
probably get is that that's an odd breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We have Curiosity and like ugly deer, so it's kind of like our transportation. we maybe skimmed a bit on transportation.
Yeah, you guys had to afford the slaves somehow.
Yeah.
We got half off on the fucked up looking animals.
Anyway, as you guys make camp, let's take a break here.
Okay.
You all make camp for the night. Over dinner and a campfire. Indra is going to just kind of like stir a little bit, and then look over at the group and take out a small symbol on his person. And he's just gonna kind of like fiddle with it, and then you all see like a little blazing sun inscription, commonly known as a symbol of the Orlesian chantry, but in an ancient time was a symbol used for the prophet Andraste, which is like where the kind of religion, as it's known today, stems from. And Indra just kind of goes, I was back then with the road guards. I was panicking. I didn't want them to see this on my person. And I know it's stupid to carry it around. But everything I thought I knew turned out to be wrong. About mages and elves and the chantry. And now I've even stopped taking lyrium, or I'm trying to. So it feels like the only thing I have left over is my faith, and I don't know. I don't want to let it go. And I know it might get us into trouble, but
Brandy actually chimes in. Then don't.
I'm not going to. I'm just letting you know.
Thanks for telling us.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not easy. Alright, but
No, it's not.
I mean, it could be the end of the world.
it's important to the man, so
I know. I'm joking. I was worried they were going to find my spell book, and then we were in a whole different heap of trouble.
I can barely read your handwriting, by the way.
Well, it's not for you to read. It's my spell book.
how would Brandy even... It was the idea that she's using your spell book?
Didn't you hear, Erland? I'm a mage.
You're a mage.
Look,
Yeah.
it's the problem of the only two mages in this party are elves, and that's not allowed here.
That's the last thing they want around here.
Well, maybe we'll have to figure out what a official elven mage looks like. Maybe we could get another pass or something. There's so much fucking red tape.
Do they
So
even...
many rules here.
How would you even enslave a elf mage?
That's the thing. I'm worried that they don't. And not in the way that you're thinking.
I don't know.
Can't believe I'm saying this. I miss Ravane.
Yeah, things were a lot easier.
Ravane was honestly pretty good from what I've heard of the rest of the world.
I mean, they were fine with most of y'all walking around openly, so by all accounts, compared to the rest of the world, a lot more progressive.
I've heard that it's because the Chant of Light never really reached those lands.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, you grew up with it. You knew what it felt like. Most people don't ever come across someone like Hassan or Sarid or definitely not Shepard.
Shepard's new by our standards.
Yeah.
No offense, big man.
No, none taken.
I mean, that other guy from that other guy, the guard. I mean, that's probably the only other one of you that I've ever seen.
Yeah, are you looking forward to... Now that you know for sure that they're there, you're gonna see your old flock.
It's a surreal feeling.
But you gotta get them home, right?
I have to, yes. I'm trying to not think about anything other than just getting them home.
I don't want to take risks. Because if we get the wrong kind of attention on us, then it gets that much tougher to find his people. Or my people.
Well, isn't there an embassy for dwarves? I didn't think it
Less-
was difficult.
Not my people like dwarves. My target.
Oh,
Honestly, I was happy traveling around, never seeing another dwarf's face. Had to kind of get used to it with our old ship captain being one, though.
He seemed nice.
He was. I just gave him shit.
Isn't that your whole, like, culture?
Kinda, yeah. We sorted things out. I wasn't all too fair at him with him to begin with, and that's kind of just,
I'm sure he was used to it.
yeah. Y'all know how it is. I've gone about this 100 times. It's just when the face that you see backstabbing you looks like your own, you start to not trust it so often. So. Gotta get used to seeing a lot more familiar faces, or, well, hopefully not familiar. Last thing I want us to run into those folks. But more similar faces when we actually get to the old capital.
I mean, do we even need to go to the embassy? What do you want to
I
get out
don't
of that?
think so. I don't even think so. I figure best case scenario, I get an idea of where the doctor's last whereabouts are. And I can try to play it off as this idea of I've thought about this time and time again on how I would try to track her down, and it's tough. It depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on what they're willing to give. I don't want it to be made obvious that I'm hunting her down. So I have the alternate identity. I have a story to tell, right? And part of that story is I gotta pretend like I'm just looking for her as some kind of person interested in her work, or someone interested in just odd experimental magic. Like I don't know, trying to find answers. Or maybe best case, if I'm forced to, I try to tell him that someone I used to know got sold to her, and I'd want to know what happened to them. I try to play the sympathy card.
I guess that depends who we make allies with. You said
Yeah.
she was disgraced? Maybe talking to the mages isn't the worst thing.
Yeah.
But also, if we make friends with the nobodies, we won't get shit for having elves in our group.
The nobodies.
The people who don't hold power in the city.
Right.
Besides, I've yet to come across a metropolis that doesn't have an underbelly.
Yeah.
I think the only reason Ravane didn't have one aside from Lomern is because they don't have fucking money. Crazy country.
You guys remember the warnings I've given about my people, right?
Yeah. They're not quite like you.
Just keep that in mind.
We still help them though, right?
Whether they appreciate us for it or not.
I have to.
And then we'll
Do
be
you have-
there.
Sorry, you go ahead.
We'll be there right along with you, Shepard.
I appreciate it.
Just asking generally for you, Shepard. Do you have to help them because you want to, or do you have to because it's expected of you?
A little bit of both, but they disappeared under my watch. so I must find them.
Okay. So, other than that, we might need to find a place to stay once we get there.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna let us just camp out in the city.
Especially if we do have. If we are still operating as at least somewhat affluent merchants, we're going to need to play the part.
Well, that's the thing. Do we want to try and find a merchant's guild and stay there? Do we want to... Or do we want to try and find a place, like an abandoned building or something in the edges of town? Like, there, Merchant's Guild will have beds, sure, and maybe heating, but we're not going to be able to, like, talk openly about, everything we would want to do.
On the other hand, if anyone spots someone rich enough to own servants camped out in an abandoned building on the outside of on the outskirts of the city, then that's gonna open up a whole other slew of questions.
You act like we're people of interest here.
Apparently, owning servants makes you people of interest.
It was the only real way we could even have you being here.
I mean, owning slaves just means that you have money. But if this place used to be the capital, then a lot of people have money.
Fair.
I don't know.
It does make us look like we'd have more to hide, but we can play it off. We're being more antisocial. We could try to just...
I'm just
'cause I
saying we have
understand less-
options, and we should examine those options.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We have a good chance to set up our own camp, and that means we don't have to constantly be playing this part. If we get intertwined in a merchant's guild, they're gonna expect things from us. They're gonna expect us to actually,
Make
do
money.
the kind of jobs that we're pretending we have.
Could also look for a thieves guild.
Yeah.
Might run into some of the same problems, but we won't have to be as secretive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a lot of things to consider, half of which we won't really know about until we get there.
Yeah.
We might just have to try to play it by ear.
Aren't we used to doing that?
Fair enough.
I'll take first watch. If you guys want to head to bed.
Mind if I stay with you, Indra?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, everybody else goes to bed. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Before going to bed, Shepard, I guess, getting up to go sleep, just says, whispers to Indra, thanks for sharing with us before.
You see him just kind of, still get uncomfortable, and then just kind of, pat you on the back of the arm, yep. Message received, I appreciate. I don't know how to, be emotionally vulnerable.
Shepard doesn't say anything else and just walks away.
Oh.
So,
Erlen will just set up. He's gonna, be extra safe and also extra paranoid by setting up his little runic stones around the perimeter, giving us a good bit of alarm.
Mm-hmm. Asan, Erland, Shepherd, you all head to bed. Did you have anything you wanted to do, Ricky?
I did actually.
Woo.
So when everybody like goes to bed and there's like a moment of silence between Brandy and Indra, she's gonna look up. So I never really asked about this whole chantry thing. And you talking about it kind of piqued my interest.
What do you want to know?
Anything that you're willing to share, honestly,
Why?
because I'm interested. I interested in you talk about it a lot, and it means a lot to you, and I kind of want to know why.
I mean, why does anybody believe in anything? Provides a sense of comfort. Kind of the idea that you're not really alone in this world. That when you die, your death will have meaning and you'll go to a nice afterlife and, I don't know, fuck verily until the end of time. I just like believing that there's a meaning or reason to all of this. At least that's what I don't know. That's what I believe now.
You didn't believe that before.
Well, my parents never really raised me with believing in the Maker or anything. They were from Ravane.
Oh.
The only reason I joined the Templars was to try and stay close to my sister.
You I think you said before that your sister was
A mage, yeah.
Yeah.
They said that if I joined, I'd maybe be able to look after her one day. That never happened, but, you know, Chantry, Templars, believing in the Maker kind of go hand in hand, so I picked up on it, I guess. I liked it. I was, I don't know, good at memorizing the Chant of Light.
The Chant of Light?
It's like a, I don't know, like a book of all the teachings, and they kind of come in like a little song or a sonnet form. A lot of the shit I say before, like combat or prayer or whatever.
Oh. That's nice, actually.
Yeah. I don't know, I didn't mind the... I liked the quiet. I liked having my own room and bed. The training was... I liked the structure and rigidity of it. It was nice. The other shit wasn't great, but, you know.
So, did you miss it?
Yeah, I do.
Even with all the bad shit?
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you look back on when you were a kid and you think it was easier and simpler.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I felt like that.
Do you believe in anything, anyone?
I believe in you guys.
Okay, I mean,
I'm
like,
sorry.
a god.
Okay, yeah, I got that after I said that, and now I kind of look stupid.
Yeah. Power of friendship. Believe in me who believes in you. Whatever. Do you
Oh,
believe
don't
there's...
make fun of me with that shit.
I'm not making fun. I'll do what I want, first of all.
Mm.
Second of all, you're dating a priest, basically. So,
Just shut up.
does that rub off on... Like, does anything that she says, like, I don't know, strike a chord with you? Algernon or whatever the shit?
A lot of the times about fighting and testing yourself, yeah.
Okay.
But that's stuff I kind of already believed in. I mean, it's why I left. I didn't want to just kind of be stuck like my dad was. I wanted to actually hunt bigger things. I wanted to help more people, and
Do you think your dad was stuck, or do you think he stayed because of you?
I think he was stuck because of me.
I think you should give your dad more credit for that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think what you seem to, I don't know, hate is something that Erland is searching for.
Oh yeah, what do I hate?
Peace. Something, a simple existence. I think you're scared of being a nobody and living your life as a nobody.
When you grew up with fairy tales, it kind of just sucks being the nobody and the people without names in the fairy tales.
Brandy, even if you have a name in the fairy tale, sometimes history forgets about you. We killed a dragon. How did you feel about that?
Oh, great for a day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the fanfare I expected lasted, I don't know, a little bit. We went back to the elven camp. I relished in the fact that people were complimenting us for a bit, and then we left, and now nobody knows who I am again.
I don't know. As someone who his entire life just wanted a peaceful existence and who's had to scrape by for just living his life with the people that he loves, watching you walk away from that, it's crazy to me. What are you fighting for?
I don't know. I thought I was fighting for a name now, but like you said, it's just not gonna happen.
I mean, it could. It just, I don't know. It seems
A waste of my time.
it feels like you had a goal since you were little and you don't want to stray from that goal.
I strayed from it. We fought the Crescent King. Right? That counts.
Like I was saying earlier to Erlen when he... I think he was right. We shouldn't make a stink into Vinterd, but... Why are you holding yourself back with what you think you should be? If you want to be a great hero, then I don't know, do something to Do something of
warrant the greatness.
substance. Killing dragons and killing people isn't going to change anything.
The most complicated thing that has happened in my tiny little village was the feud between my dad and my uncle.
That sounds nice.
I don't know how to navigate anything else. That thing of substance you're talking about, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to stop the slavery that Asan is talking about. I don't know what to do outside of personal problems.
Then help the personal problems. I think that, I don't know, the little guy always gets a little bit overlooked whenever people fight for justice or whatever.
And how well do you think that'll go over with Arland?
I think as long as we keep our head down, we can help a lot of people. But we also have to come to terms with the fact that there will be some that we can't ever save.
So what, just help the people we can? Move on?
That's what... I don't know. I think
I
so.
didn't mean it dismissively like that, I'm sorry.
No, it's
just-
fine.
Trying to make sense of it. What about you? You said earlier that you're trying to get off Lyrium. How's that been going for...
It's only been a couple of days. It's... I've heard horror stories of what happens. So I guess we'll see in the coming weeks. For now, I'm fine, though.
Okay.
Still in my system. Though, I probably should have mentioned, I forgot it. I'm not going to be able to do the things that I've been able to do.
Like the thing that happened a few days ago.
Yeah. Anything, really. I think I've only got a few days left with curiosity, even. I can feel my tie to him growing weaker.
I mean, that's fine. We have other means to heal, and Sarah, what happened with Sarah, that was just a one-off thing.
He kind of looks at you a little amused, I think, and just nods. Yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. I mean, I've been getting better with medicine, so what's a little more vigilance on everybody's well-being?
Should I, wake up the next two?
Wait, before that, if you need anything, because you said that it was going to, you said it's going to be rough on you. if you need any help from me, just let me know.
If time permits it, I'll let you know. Who are the next two people that want to take a watch? Or if you guys don't want to, like, talk or RP, we can just, wake up.
I don't have anything specific I want to talk about, so if
Okay.
the other two do. Or if someone's talk to me.
I don't either.
Okay.
We're good.
Alright. Then, you all, wake up to a cloudy, overcast morning in Tevinter, having taken a long rest, and, you get back on the way to the Tevinter Highway. You have breakfast, you make small talk.
Try out some
so-
of these dried fruits and
Mhm.
honey. Bread.
I have one thing.
Yes.
So I'm going to prepare my spells for the day. But the interesting thing is you only need your spell book to prepare spells. So I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to put it in Brandy's pack.
Okay.
And that's going to be the ritual for the morning is I will prepare my spells and then it is not going to be on my person anymore.
Yeah, you're just committing them to memory. It's like, yep, this is what I've got.
Okay. As morning breaks, and you are on your way, you notice more and more carriages either pass around you or pass by you. It seems like more people travel during the day, try to make the journey as far as possible, and during the night, kind of settle down. You didn't hear any wagons or people crossing by you as you slept. You get closer and closer to Narrominian. You can tell as a rush of wind from the coast hits you. And you see more and more carriages up ahead. And you see two tall black statues of kind of like columns and then serpents encircling them, and meeting at the point of an archway. The serpents battle each other. There's little flecks of gold between the scales, the eyes, and the teeth. And as you begin to approach, you notice caravans kind of like slow down underneath this archway. And some just kind of like lower their heads in prayer. Others, with one hand, almost instinctively, just kind of like brush along the stone in a particular place, almost in kind of like a good luck gesture or a show of respect. And as you get closer to the archways and you pass by underneath them, you notice a divot from all of the hand marks that have been left there over the last couple hundred years. These statues are old. They represent a Tevinter at the height of its power, the serpents engaging in battle, showing the tenacity of the Imperium. Now it's just a ruined, almost watchtower. As you pass underneath it and continue onwards, you see off in the distance a large walled city. Massive watchtowers and columns, all of pitch black stone, little flags waving in the wind, and a collection of storm clouds up overhead. Down the main road, following the other caravans. Approaching the city, you notice tall black windmills spin, yet as you get closer, the wind dies down. There's a flash of blue, lyrium-infused crystal magic, and the windmill begins to spin faster, powered by the arcane. 3 field crop rotations are used by all the farms outside the city, and the walls have a fully functioning sewer and aqueduct system. Tall towers with gold inlays flank either side of steel gates, and as you kind of form into a line, they move much swifter than Marotheus. The city is a well-oiled machine. Guards begin to check over paperwork, and you notice one line is for people with papers to get in, one is without. You file into the one with papers, and it's moving along faster and seems to be less searches done on the people.
Yes.
Yes, we got a pre-flight check on TSA.
No, literally, yeah. Bureaucracy works well for you when you have money. The guard stops you, just kind of holds up a hand, flips over a piece of parchment, looks over. Name and paperwork?
Varen Aldens, alchemist by trade.
Holds out his hand.
Papers.
Sifts
Papers,
through them.
please.
Here with a couple business associates
Mm-hmm. How long will you be staying?
and our help. He looks about the others. Give it a couple weeks.
Couple of weeks. He nods along. Are you transporting any dangerous materials or persons into the city?
Nothing but my hired help to keep me safe.
Deception check, please. With
You'd be
advantage.
deceiving. Yeah.
Would you rather a persuasion
Larry
check?
is way better at this. No. Erlen knew the second he stepped foot into Tevinter, he would not be saying a truthful thing. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Erlen.
another one. 2
I
in a
still-
row.
I still miss Alaria, but you know, we're trying to keep things in check.
I'm just
Trying to
thinking
hold
of
down
like,
the flirt.
what's the point of hired help if they aren't dangerous?
Nods. Gives you back your papers. There is a large stamp of a serpent on it. Hands it back to you. Nods. Enjoy your stay. And just moves you swiftly along. Like, next! Like, come on, keep it moving.
Yep, keep moving.
As you move along, the people in the back of the cart like notice another guard like whispering to the one you were talking to. They nod, and the guard they were talking, or the guard that like approached the other one, like flags you down. Hold on. As they approach, they gesture for you to like lean down.
Need to lean?
Well, you're in the
All of
cart.
us. Or I
You
guess
are in the
all of
cart.
us to lean. Okay.
Well,
or-
no.
Sure,
Well,
just
you
me.
specifically, yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll lean. I'm a short guy.
You got? Where are you setting up your business? I kind of got some issues I need resolved.
You know?
Like, I need some medicinal help.
Gotcha.
He needs butt
Let's-
cream.
Could you point us to the nearest, say, Merchants Guild Association?
Yeah, of course.
Perhaps a
Just go-
map maker of the city
Yeah.
would be useful?
Yeah, just to get a
Oh,
layout of everything.
You need a cartographer.
Yes, please.
I think the cartographer's still at the Merchants Guild, but you can ask around there still.
Thank you.
If they're not there. Yeah, no, just down that road over there. It should be. You can't miss it. It's not a mostly gold building, but it's one of the few buildings that has like gold inlays in it. Yeah, just go down that road. You should be fine. Just don't stray off of it and get lost in the other parts of the city.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Say you can
you're gonna be
catch
there,
us
right?
around there. Yeah, we'll be hanging around those
Yeah,
parts.
cool.
Sure.
Great. I gotta go back to doing my job.
Mhm.
Have a wonderful day. as
You as well.
he walks back to his post.
He scratches at his ass.
It is for butt cream.
Man, I was betting it was ED. I was so
Pretty sure I've got something for either of those situations.
Okay. You all enter Naramidian. An ever-present sky of dark clouds looms over you, casting the city in a dark and hazy mist. Tall buildings block the horizon, the streets feel claustrophobic yet ever-moving, with columns and stairs built into them, crowding the streets of beggars and magisters on the cobbled blacktop. It's still wet from yesterday's rain. Towers of Gothic design with round roofs and pointed steeples climb towards the sky, promising God they will reach him one day. As you all explore the rest of the city, Indra is able to kind of like flag down a cartographer, and after several minutes of haggling, Indra kind of like comes back, seemingly satisfied with what he has gotten, and presents to you the map of Narominian.
Ooh.
Oh.
Where would you all like to head?
Oh, map.
Sorry, for a second I forgot that Indra's a map nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, nope. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I think Hassan
the
genuinely
first
has
time,
a smile.
the first time my baby has like a break.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is the first genuine smile in weeks.
Yeah, no.
It's just like, ooh, a map.
Map of the city.
Yeah, if you guys want to like stop somewhere, maybe like a tavern, and just like discuss where you want to go, that's fine.
So should I assume that the 3 things that say circles are like wizard circles, mage circles?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, the Narominian Tower seems to be kind of like the main council circle and like the kind of like official registered circle, while the other ones on the map are simply just kind of like organizations for mages.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Makes sense if one is by the Merchants Guild. They make some cool shit. Magic-y shit. Can I also say, infer from this that the area that is most empty here is mainly like residential zone?
Yes.
Just most empty space over here.
Yes.
Just people live here for the
Yes,
most
there.
part.
And you guys feel free to like ask what things are. We can always label them, like later. There are some parts that are unlabeled that like a map maker wouldn't point out to you guys. But if anything catches your eye or like you want to explore a specific area, we can always relabel them. Yeah, we'll just put there.
So
Huh.
Well, this is probably gonna be something that we'd have to learn over the course of maybe a day. But I think Hassan wants to find like where the slums are, because that's probably the place where people are gonna ask the least amount of questions. If we were to
yeah, because we should have a
just
strategy
break
meeting.
into an
We should-
abandoned building.
Yeah, we should have like a nice because we're getting here at like roughly what kind of time? Like midday evening?
It is early evening when you reach Narominian.
So Erland will suggest to the group, or Baron will suggest to the group, that we grab a dinner and have a bit of a strategy meeting here to figure out what our next steps are going to be. Like A, where we're going to stay, right? And B, whose ears we're going to tug on first.
You feel like the kind of like upper crust and like the wealthier buildings are kind of like all in this circle, with like the majority of
Center.
like the the slums would be kind of like in the northwestern part, next to the dark yard, the industrial zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. So we're getting food first, right? We're just gonna stop at some random tavern and get food and discuss our strategy. Is
I
that the
believe
first
so.
plan?
Food's
Okay.
always on Erlin's mind.
Okay.
Yes.
You stop kind of like near the marketplace of the city. Seems to be a popular spot called the Aurora. It's much nicer than some of the taverns that you're used to. One, it's built completely out of stone. It retains heat. It's very, very cozy, and has a very like kind of dark atmosphere. There is like chatter, but the bartenders and servers don't really talk to you. They just kind of do their job and leave. It's not welcoming. It's very business oriented. And you find kind of like a table off to the side in like a shadowier place of the restaurant.
Alright. So, we gotta figure out where we're gonna be setting up our residences here. Are we trying to go for comfort? Or are we trying to go for... Well, I'd suggest going for something more inconspicuous.
I mean, there's benefits to both. If we go for more comfort, we have access to more important people.
True.
But if we go for somewhere inconspicuous, we're gonna stand out.
So, Asan, it seems like you want to go to like a guild.
I think in any case, we're gonna be expected there with the kind of cover that we have.
Yeah.
But we don't have to spend all our time there. At the very least, can try to see who the players are there.
Just to be clear, I'm not against it, but we, you know, especially you and Ceridwen can't exactly talk freely there.
I doubt we're gonna be able to talk freely anywhere.
Well, if we find, like, I don't know, a shack or something on the edge of town, we'll probably be okay there, unless, you know, Three-Eyed Joe has some questions.
Three eyes.
I don't know, man. That was just someone from Starkhaven. Nice guy.
Did he have three eyes?
No, that's just what he called his pimple.
That's weird.
God. Okay.
Yeah, get used to it.
I think one time I gave a black eye to a guy with glasses. That was kind of a joke that ran on for a bit.
Oh, huh. That's funny. Anyway.
But yeah, I think at least when there's daylight, right, we can make some friends. At least a couple of us that are, supposed to be the merchants. We can try to ask around in the merchants guild and get a couple things for ourselves. I mean, we have a lot of materials on us. We can make some good gear. We can make some good things. We could try to find, say, the kind of magic that would offset the loss of your powers. As he looks towards Intra. We try to get our hands on something like that.
We could. I feel like that comes later.
And we gotta figure out how to get an audience with... I can't really pronounce his name. I'm like Synesian Synesius Cellus?
Yes, Synesius Cellus.
Synesius Cellus. Right. With,
Yes, he was placed in Slytherin.
Cellus
Thanks
guy.
for asking.
Oh my
Really?
god.
Synesius Cellus. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Schniverless.
We gotta figure out a way to get an audience with him. But before that, I need a damn good reason to be talking to them and a damn good idea of what I'd be asking. Being around the bush ain't gonna help us in some of these cases.
We really gotta make like a channel for NPCs. Sorry, but
You think they'd let us anywhere near the tower?
depends.
Oh,
It's fine.
Cause where would we even find Cellus? Didn't really like specify. They just gave us a name, right?
Probably either in one of the circles or the Naraminian Tower. You
Right.
assume.
Yeah. Cause yeah, I assume that's where like the mages are gonna hang around. It's like, yeah.
Mage is gonna mage.
Yeah. There's a lot here. I think for now, if we just find a good place to stay, I would think. I mean, get connected with the slums, might even be able to find some folk from the underbelly of this city. We can put up a front at the guild, but spend our nights where there's a little less eyes on us.
That could work.
We just need to find a spot to crash. And keep an eye on our wallets.
yeah, we've been spending a lot of money just
Yeah.
kind of existing so far and getting cover.
Information ain't cheap, especially not with those types.
Maybe we should be, actually doing business for a couple days. If not doing business, like, at least picking up work.
You want us to get day jobs?
No! What we usually been doing.
A waiter comes over. Some water?
Yes, please.
They leave.
What we usually been doing.
What we've usually been doing is murdering people.
Monsters. Kill kind of looks
We-
around a little bit,
We don't really have usual.
but we have been picking up jobs and requests here and there.
So do you want to just do a few
lot
odd
of
jobs
times money
around
just-
town?
A lot of times money just falls into our lap because we took it from somebody else.
So, I'm open to ideas, but what should Sarah and I do?
I just... Shit.
I
Stick
can't
with
exactly
us.
just wander around on my own. Yeah, that
Well,
needs
I think splitting up is not a great idea either.
No.
It just means that someone needs to be in a high-profile enough role to own us.
Well, I mean, I don't think we should be splitting up the group in this city specifically.
I'm not gonna lie. If you gave me the map and told me to go back to the gate we were just at, I think I'd still get lost.
Now, truthfully, I know this is a crazy idea. We could actually just have Erland set up a shop in the market. And just for the first day or two, we just gather info on, like, because the market, I'm assuming, gets a lot of thoroughfare of people of all shapes and sizes.
So what, we have one of us manage a stall in the market, some people gather information and the others go do like odd jobs for money?
I think we all try to stick in the same general area, but yeah, at least what I'm saying is, Sarah and I can stick with Erland because if Erland's a successful merchant, it won't look too out of place for him to have 2 servants helping him run the stall.
Yeah, but then you won't be able to sneak around as much to try and get any intel. We'll just leave that to what, Ilaria?
I mean, Erland's kind of
Indra?
Erland's the point man of the whole operation. I don't think we should leave him at a stall.
Okay.
Even if I'm best equipped to run it.
Brandy and I could manage it. We're humans, so they're not going to ask any questions while you guys can travel as a group, do whatever.
I mean, I can pretend to be a blacksmith still. Like, I have the skills to do it.
And I'll talk to people.
What I can do is,
Should I actually try to make, like, remedies for other people? I feel like that's going to cut into the time I'd usually spend on
I don't care
intel
about
to us.
people recognizing me. It's fine.
what I can do is, I mean, I do have Siren. I can send him on a bit of a circle of the nearby area and just make sure that check if there's anything interesting going on.
I feel like we've got to be careful with Siren.
Yeah, mages
I mean,
feel like they're a lot more common here.
It's a bird, but it's not exactly a bird from what you told us. And
It's interesting.
it's
I'm
more
saying
fade bullshit. Yeah, I kind of get that.
But this type of fade bullshit is like something even beginner mages know, and we're in the mage country.
Exactly.
Beginner
So-
mages also know not to deal with demons.
I'll
Ouch.
stop some folks.
Personal.
I didn't mean it that way.
But look, as helpful as Siren is, I worry about people keeping watch of creatures like Siren. If
That's
there's
what I
any way to
meant.
link it to you, then we'll be in trouble.
DMs, is there any way to link who's familiar it would be? Or does Asan know of anything like that?
Not in like the arcane sense, but in the manual, like, hey, that's a weird fucking bird, I'm gonna go track where it goes. Like, if
Yeah,
someone were
okay.
to do that, that would spell trouble, but if someone catches it, you could just kind of blink it out of existence. So no way to like track it to you. But you really don't know enough about the city to know if they have like specialized assassin militia against mages, you know?
Yeah, so I guess first things first. In the morning I might give someone like 100 gold to buy me 10 things of incense, so I can change Siren's form at least 10 times. Because at the very least, like, okay, the same bird going around spying, suspicious, but a bird, a rat, a cat, an owl, like,
That's clever. Expensive, but clever.
expensive but clever. That's something we can try to do to minimize the risk. It's just like every day I change Siren to a different animal.
Sure.
And spy with a different animal.
Maybe every 2 days if you're expecting to stay here for a while.
Yeah, fair.
Alright.
So, another thing I remember interesting last night, could also talk or look for a different guild. One that we've kind of dealt with before, just, here in Arminian.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea, and I figured there might be some connections we'd find over in the slums.
Okay, so what are we doing? Where are we going?
I think in the morning we try to set ourselves up with the Merchants Guild, have something, right, so that our cover is solid. Right? If we get some work thrown our way, then sure, we'll find some time to do it. I don't care if I have to make random ass zit creams for people.
Ew.
They don't take long. That's what most people need. But
It's what most people need. Erlen's gonna have a line of teenagers at the stall.
Aw.
Yeah.
it's like they've never heard of a pumice stone. So he, and then he, and then right, at least for the night, we can try to see if there's a place to stay the night in the slums. We can kind of make our own little dwelling. Or if we pay someone, if there is some shitty looking inn, then we can use that. And you know, the owners of these establishments, they got ears all over the place. Try to get some clues. If I can learn anything more about Celis, they can help us figure out how best to catch his attention and be worth his time. Maybe we can do something for him or offer him something he's looking at. Ask people in the slums, try to get some connections there. Same with the Merchants Guild, because I've already seen a couple merchants like to play both sides of this. There's plenty of business to be done legally, but people always want what they can't have. Meanwhile, there's a chantry too, right? A couple of y'all can check it out, right? Looks at Indra.
It's not that kind of chantry.
No? Think you'd have any help for us?
I mean, they could, I don't... What do you think the whole war is about?
I get that, but
I could try. Though I think they'll figure out pretty quickly I'm floundering.
look, we'll be careful with the risks that we're taking, all right? Just we need any kind of lead that'll help us find wherever the hell his people would be caught. Looking at Shepard.
Yeah, where did you say you had to deliver your letter to?
I gotta go to the shipyard.
Okay. Do you think... I don't know. You said your people are different from you. Would we be able to stay with them?
My people?
Yeah.
Question for DMs. I genuinely don't know the answer to that question. So, what?
It would entirely depend on the group. Some
Okay.
would be willing to make alliances with foreigners. Others would kill them before they let anybody help them. With this group specifically, you have the sense that they would not be stupid enough to let pride get in the way of them getting out of this place, but it might need some convincing. They might be open to an alliance, but staying with them is a little pushing it, as well as the fact that you haven't really met them yet.
Yeah.
So there's a chance, if you guys roll well enough.
And Kunari have a problem with mages, right?
Has Shepard told you guys that?
No, he has. At least
Yeah, no,
when he
he's
initially
mentioned it.
told us that his people
Yeah.
kind of suck.
Then yeah, so you would know that they do have they are harsher on the mages than like
Anyone?
a lot of Thetases.
Yeah. I don't think he told specifically what, but I do think he said, like, mages.
I gave you guys
Aren't-
a few examples, and
Yeah,
they
that
weren't
they're like
pretty.
hated.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mages are less hated, more pitied, and more treated as like dangerous animals than anything
Mm,
that need to be like controlled.
makes sense.
So yeah, ask for their alliance with trepidation.
We could. Staying with them might be hard. We could try.
Do we want to head over and meet them now?
I mean, cover a night.
We
Not
could.
how.
Besides, we
I mean,
wanted
I'm
to.
sure truthfully, I'm sure the dockyard has plenty of
Abandoned buildings.
either abandoned buildings or just like overnight taverns. Like, I'm sure there are sailors that stay here for a day or two
Do
and
we
just need some lodging.
want to stay in a tavern?
I'm just saying we have options. Yeah, I think the dockyard would have options.
By the way, are Asan and Saradwin like do they have their hoods up?
Always.
Yeah.
Okay.
San has different colored hair now, but even still.
You notice a few of the
It's
patrons.
hard to change the ears.
You notice a few of the patrons beginning to stare at your facial tattoos.
Anyway, I think it's time we pay our bill and get out. Now?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Time to leave.
Oh, my water.
Drink it! Drink it! Chug!
As you all leave, you notice the door kind of like close behind you, and through one of the windows, one of the servants kind of puts up a little sign that says "No elves allowed."
They should have been quicker with that.
Too late. I already ate my food.
We gave you food.
Well, no,
Roland's like, "We fed you."
Look, the whole point was to go there and get food, and if they only just noticed I'm an elf, I'm assuming I was able to, like, get something
Stealthy
to
about
eat.
it. Yeah. I don't know if they specifically asked you for your order.
Um,
Just like we showed up.
yeah. You all get out of there. Where are you all heading to?
We should head to the dockyard.
Okay.
Yeah. I think no matter what, we'll find some sort of lodging there. Legal or otherwise.
Yeah, just squatters' rights.
You make your way over to the dockyard. It is all the way across the city, and you go through the residential areas, the market, the city center, the bustling, populated areas, and then the colder, slower areas of more unsavory dealings. You pass by the kind of like upper crust district of circles, merchants guilds, the great kind of like gothic Narrominian tower that is, it's architecture almost reminiscent of kind of like dwarvish, like with a very heavy support and bottom system of sheets of metal and towers and like black stone brick, and then this glistening golden like circular roofs with kind of like a spiky top. It is massive and kind of like towering and imposing across the entire city, and something that you've never seen before in any of the towns, it sports a mechanical clock.
Who's what's it now?
And as the clock strikes 6, it begins to rain on the dot. And you notice a lot of people take out parasols to keep from getting wet, while others kind of like tighten their cloaks. It seems they were prepared. The city of Neriminium does not offer any room for misalignment, even to the weather. You are increasingly aware of the heaviness of the city, the pressure of its existence, and that's where we'll leave off this session.